All right, so you're here because you have interest in reading Downcast. It's the story about family, a floating city in the sky, a bunch of cultists, an underwater sea diver that's eternal. There's so much that I love about Downcast. It's a really cool comic book series that I happen to be the writer of. So there's that. But one thing that gets confusing is that Downcast has a few different ways that it's been published. And you'll see a lot of covers for Downcast, but it's actually a very, very simple comic series to get into. So I'm going to show you the different versions of Downcast and how you can read it. So you have to understand that Downcast was first done on a crowdfunding campaign. And so the very first book was actually this. And what you're seeing is two books. That's because it's just a variant cover. So we have on one hand the Matt Weldon variant, which was always slightly more rare. There were fewer of these printed in the Downcast series. And then you have the traditional one that's done by a rotating artist, in this case Nacho Lazaro. So if you're reading with the crowdfunded version, this is basically half a trade paperback in length. It's 2 to 3 issues depending on the volume. So if this is how you want to read Downcast, it's very simple. Just go 1 to 3 to 4. Just follow them, pick one, and follow along. Now, and obviously it doesn't matter which cover you're getting to follow along with it. As long as the numbers on the spine line up, it's the regular prestige edition is what it's called. It's the crowdfunded version. So that is one version. Now we'll use the Matt Weldon variant here. For example, 1, 2, this is the next Matt Weldon variant cover. It's larger. Number 2 is the only book that has the Secret History of Strata. You'll notice that these prestige editions have little extras in them that you're not going to see anywhere else. They weren't printed through Alterna, and they won't be reprinted. As far as I know, they won't be reprinted anywhere else. So these volume 2s are great because they have the Secret History of Strata, which is a nice little backup story. So volume 1, volume 2 also has 2 covers. Downcast always has 2 covers. So we have the, again, Matt Weldon cover, and then we have the Kelsey Shannon cover for this one. Volume 3, right here, this is the first appearance of the Monstro, this big diver character you'll see, the Matt Weldon variant, and this is the Eric Weathers cover again. So only 2. So follow along with those, you'll be good. All right, so the next way that Downcast was published is actually through Alterna Comics, and that is in the format of single issues. So right here I have the single issues. 1, 2, make sure that's 2. That's 2. We have 3, and issue 4. There's also a blank sketch variant for number 1. This is also first printing, so all the Alterna versions, you'll notice, have a little red corner box here with the Alterna logo. That's how you know it's a first printing. So that's Alterna. If you're following along on single newsprint issues, easy. 1 all the way through the series. Just follow the numbers. Where it can get confusing is how these are collected. So I'm going to show you one more edition. This is the Downcast Collection 1 edition. Now the hope is that eventually there will be more of these collections put together. But as of now, there's only one collection. And you're going to say, what's the difference between a collection and a volume, Clint? This is really confusing. Well, it's not that confusing. This is the size of a typical trade paperback that you'd get anywhere else. And what it collects is volume 1 of Downcast. So if I go back here, this is volume 1 and volume 2. So both of these books, volume 1 and volume 2, are in this Downcast collection 1. So if this is the only one you have access to, because I'll tell you the prestige editions, especially volume 1 and volume 2, they are hard to come by, and I don't really have any to sell, so they're gone. So this is going to be a good way to get into Downcast if you want to just get a big book for your money. It's a good value. This will have volume 1 and volume 2, and then you can continue the story with volume 3 into the next story arc. So that's the collection. So how did the Alterna issues fit into this? Well, collection 1 right here, which includes volume 1 and volume 2 in this collection, is going to have the first 4 issues of Downcast included. Here we go, 4 issues. I'm going to put them in order here too. The first 4 issues are all in that trade paperback, so that'll catch you up. So you can mix and match these different versions of Downcast. If you already have one version you want to stick with, that is fantastic. Are there any plans to do other collections, like an alternate giant version or an omnibus someday in the future? I have no idea. Right now, the point is just to have Downcast in a format that's accessible to you, the reader, to be able to continue reading this series. So if you're interested in getting single issues, I suggest that you go to either sweetcomicshop.com, that is my website, or you can go to alternacomics.com and you can shop there. If you want the Prestige Edition, there are some of these only starting on volume 3. Really, that's all you can get on sweetcomicshop.com. That's where you can grab these, or if you're lucky, on eBay. Those volume 1s are, again, they're hard to come by, so you'd probably have to check eBay. That'd be your best bet. Collection 1 you can get only on sweetcomicshop.com. All of these are fantastic ways to read Downcast and catch up with it, but I hope that makes it simple for you. Fantastic story, fantastic series. I hope that you enjoy it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.